Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of the PokerGO Podcast. My name is Donnie Peters. His name is Tim Duckworth as I adjust my mic stand right now. Probably going to create some great audio for producer Rich Ryan to fix, but whatever. We're back, baby. It's been a while, but it's December 1st. It is 12:53 p.m. It is officially my birthday month. My wife decides to, tell me it's her birthday month, it's her birthday week, whatever the heck. So, I'm going to do the same.
Okay.
It's my birthday year as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. On today's show, we got a lot to catch up on. We're going to talk about the NAPT Las Vegas. They had a bunch of PGT qualifying events that were part of that schedule. So we'll hit on those. Texas PLO Roundup finished up. Tim was down there at Champions Club. So he's going to get us up to date on what happened down in Texas. Austin, right? Or Houston. Sorry. I always do that. I don't know why. I always think Austin. I want to touch on these other big tournaments that happened around the world.
Okay.
APT Championship. I'm probably going to butcher that because, you and I used to go to the APPT quite a lot. So
you never went to the APT?
I've never gone to the APT.
Okay.
I've only been to the APPT and the ANZPT.
Been all three.
There you go. BSOP Millions wrapped up, and then currently running right now, WPT Seminole Rock and Roll Poker Open, I believe is the one that's running right now. I do want to just quickly, there's been a lot of drama in the Twitter world for the past, 2 weeks now or so?
Yeah.
We're not going to get too much into it, but maybe we'll just give some quick takes, right? We'll just quickly touch on things. We'll move on. And yeah, as always, if you are listening, please do favorite the show, leave a review. And if you do leave a review, send it on into podcast@pokergo.com. We might read it on air. If you're watching on the PokerGo YouTube channel, like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. We love to see where you guys are watching us from, where you are tuning in from. Not too many giveaways on this show. We were wrapping up things. We did give away our podcast dream seat, right?
Yeah.
So that's done and dusted. But there is one more dream seat to be won.
There is.
And it belongs to somebody on Play PokerGo. PokerGo and Play PokerGo have teamed up to award a dream seat into the PGT $1 Million Championship. All you have to do is go to playpokergo.com, play single hand of free online poker, but it ends December 10th. So we got 10 days left as of time of recording for you guys to get in there, play your single hand of free online poker. Someone's going to win that seat. They're going to come out to Las Vegas in January. They're going to play in that $1 million free roll, $500,000 first place prize. There'll be about 50 players, give or take, in that field. So you got a pretty good shot at winning $500,000. Of course, no purchase necessary. You do have to be 21 or older because, you got to be able to come out here and play in the studio. U.S. residents only. Full rules and details can be found at pokergo.com/rules. All right, first things first. Gal Yifrok wins the NAPT Las Vegas main event. Now, this was not a PGT qualifying event. I don't know how many questions you fielded about that, but I think I fielded
none,
24. Is this PGT qualifying? Why isn't it PGT qualifying? All that sort of stuff. Anyway, Yifrok gets his largest live tournament score. He wins $543,000. Now, he did make a deal with Thomas Boyven, heads up. They chopped it, I think, even and left some money to play for. Boyven had a large chip lead throughout much of the final table, the large majority of it. It was interesting because I was watching the stream and Boyven, he took a large chip lead into the final table. And then I think when he got down to three-handed, it was Boyven, Yifrok, and then Jen Shahade. Mm-hmm. And Boyven asked to look at the numbers, which I thought was interesting because he had such a big lead. Like, why wouldn't you just play for it all? But it was a kind of a combination of Shahade and Yifrok when Boyven wanted to kind of negotiate better terms for him because he believed if I have this correctly, if my memory serves me correctly, that he wanted a little bit more than ICM because of his chip stack and everything. But Shahade was like, let's just play for it.
Yeah.
Let's just play. So anyway, they end up playing for it. Jen Shahade goes out third. Then there's a deal struck between Yifrok and Boyven. Yifrok ends up coming back, taking it all down. So it was Yifrok on top, $543,000. Boyven second, 518K. Shahadi, third, 291,000. Ekram Bozkurt, fourth, satellite winner into the event, and then went on to finish fourth. Ekram is a regular player around Las Vegas, made a final table or two at Venetian that we streamed as part of Venetian Poker Live and also PokerGO. He took home $224,000. Michael Burke, PGT regular, fifth place. Peter Muger, sixth place, $132,000 for him. Burke got $172,000. Abdullah Akbarpour got seventh place for $102,000. And then Richard Green also frequents some PGT events, $78,000 for him. 738 entries. Last year was $895. This year's prize pool, it did have a $3 million guarantee last year and this year. This year came at almost $3.6 million. Last year was a bit over $4.3 million. So those two numbers compared to last year, 17.5% decrease. That's what I want to talk about here,
Okay.
as it pertains to the main event. I mean, what are your thoughts? Like, why did the field decline?
I got four reasons.
Oh, four. Okay.
Four.
So by the way, I like that you're bringing four. And the reason why
Maybe
I like
five.
but it's never one thing.
No,
I know
it's
everyone always
always
tries to say, like, oh, it's because of this.
Never.
And there's a pie chart, and like everything has its own percentage of the pie.
Yeah.
So that's how
exactly.
so I'm happy you're bringing multiple things here that likely played into it. Now, we may not exactly know the percentages, but there's always a bunch of different factors that are to weigh. Go ahead.
We're going to touch on two of them a little later, but two pretty big, impressive competing events. We're going to talk about the Asian Poker Tour in Taiwan. We're going to talk about the BSOP. That's obviously going to draw some of those local players to stay. It's also lured some of our players, when I say our players, I'm talking, Las Vegas / America, over to those stops. And that's obviously going to have an influence on another event we'll talk about a little later, the Texas PLO Roundup. So those two things are pretty big. I think the third thing to me, and you and I have chatted about this a lot in person. I've chatted with players about it a lot. I didn't think the schedule was that good. And when I say good, I'm talking more about how it was kind of conducted, how it was structured. The offerings
was not good.
Yeah, I think when a player wanting to travel here, looking at that, they're like, I can't play this event, I can't play that, I can only play a couple of events. It's not really worth it for me. I'm going to skip it. And then the fourth thing I think is something I'm not quite knowledgeable on. Maybe you a little better than me, but the landscape. And when I say the landscape, I'm talking about PokerStars. I'm talking about FanDuel, and we touched on it. Like, we just didn't feel there was as much promotion for this series compared to the last couple of years. And now, was that on purpose? Was that PokerStars saying, you know what, let's dial down the marketing dollars a little bit? I'm sure if we could somehow access the data of satellite seat winners online and live, I'm assuming there's a big decline there too.
I think that 2 years ago, they obviously had to make a pretty big splash. Now, it was a little bit of a different event with a different price point, but they still had to make a big splash. Return of the NAPT, it's coming back to Las Vegas, all that sort of stuff. And then last year, they go back, they go to more of an EPT model, more of the old NAPT model, the 5K main event, $3 million guaranteed prize, all that sort of stuff. So obviously, you got to put a lot of marketing power behind that. And then this year, maybe they just pulled back on it. I felt like buzz was a little bit lesser than last year, and that's probably just because it wasn't so in your face with the marketing. So it was still a really good turnout, right? But
nearly 800 players. That's great. The actual on-site marketing, let's just make sure it was still fantastic. The room's great to play in. Yeah. The branding at Resort World is still great. We're talking about leading up to it, whether it's on social, whether it's, they did a lot of stuff last year with influencers and even like some pretty big Twitter accounts like Las Vegas locally and stuff. So those additional marketing arms weren't there this year. Everything on site we're not talking about. It's just leading up to it, online, social, etc. Just felt not as much there as last time.
I mean, it's also, I know you want to talk about this a little bit more later, but it is very difficult these days there's just so much poker everywhere.
There's too much poker.
It's like it's getting pretty crazy, and it's good to see that the industry is able to survive through it. Like for example, this event, it didn't miss the guarantee. It cleared the guarantee. It was, I think it was probably a bit more of a sweat than they would have liked, but still they made it by about $600K. So that's, a fair a fair amount over. That I would say that this doesn't fall into fake guarantee range because they didn't blow it out of the water.
Definitely not.
But it was probably a little bit closer than they would have liked. So there's that. All in all, I thought the event was good. I lasted a haul of like 40 minutes in it, so that was also spectacular.
Well played.
Yes, very well played. I don't like to wait around. I either get in and I lose or I win. One or the other. Moving on to the PGT qualifying events that were part of the NAPT Las Vegas. You had 8 events. Yep. The 10K Mystery Bounty, the 20K Super High Roller Warm-Up, the 50K Super High Roller, 10K Half and Half, No Limit Hold'em / PLO, 25K PLO High Roller, 10K Bounty, 12K Quattro Knockout, and then the 10K NAPT High Roller. First up, the Mystery Bounty. Cherish Andrews won it all, topped 84 entries. She won a combined $331,000. She won $111,000 from the prize pool. She won $220,000 from the mystery bounties. She beat Nick Petrangelo in heads-up play. Petrangelo got almost $122,000 between prize pool and bounties. And I bring up Petrangelo specifically because he then went on to win the next event, the 20K Super High Roller Warm-Up, topping 53 entries to win almost $310,000. The 50K Super High Roller, that had 23 entries. Stephen Chidwick topped all comers, $557,000. Thomas Boyven, second place for $334,000, already on a high before that main event score that we already talked about. This 50K Super High Roller took place before the main event. So all combined, well over $800,000 just from those two finishes for Boyven, who's had a really, really great year. He had a smashing WSOP. Does very well here at NAPT Las Vegas. The 10K No Limit Hold'em / PLO. Zhao Samao topped 60 entries, won $174,000. Sam Soverell, second place, $113,000. Cherish Andrews, back at the final table. She's hot. Fifth place for $47,000. The 25K PLO High Roller. This event was, I'll say, needs improvement. 11 entries.
Yeah.
It was just a bad structure. It was scheduled for 3 days, I think. They started them way too deep in chips. They only played a handful of levels on day one. They even had to adjust the structure on day one. It was kind of a mess. It only got 11 entries at the end of the day. Sean Raphael won it for $171,000. He beat Jordan Glazer, who took $92K for second place. And then Glazer, much like Petrangelo did to kick off the high rollers, Glazer went on to win the next high roller, topped 14 entries in the 10K bounty to win $42,000. Then Glazer took second place in the 12K Quattro Knockout. He lost there to Sam Soverell. Sam Soverell wins almost $201,000, over $200,000, topping 39 entries there. And then the most well-attended high roller event on the schedule, the 10K NAPT High Roller. Vitaly Zavarotnis, I probably severely butchered that one. Topped 158 entries to win $358,000. It had 170 entries last year. For you, sir.
Yes.
Now, part of our partnership with the NAPT Las Vegas, and when I say our, I mean the PGT, we gave a dream seat, which fast-tracked somebody into the PGT $1 Million Championship. Who won that thing, and who are we going to be seeing in January?
Well, we can't, like we do on the PGT, you must have 2 cashes. So that kind of, disqualified or made some people ineligible to win this. So who actually finished second on the leaderboard, but he did have 2 cashes. Nick Petrangelo has both hands on that dream seat. But, here's the thing. Here's the kicker, and I've told some players that are on this leaderboard, he's pretty close to the top 40, and we know he's going to Bahamas, and we know he probably might play last chance. So there is a chance that he naturally qualifies for the PGT Championship. So what that means, that seat, start rolling down. Next up.
And the reason why you do that is because dream seat winners only start with 100 big blinds.
Correct.
If you qualify in the top 40,
you can have a lot more.
You can have more chips based on your finishing position in the top 40.
Exactly.
The first person on the leaderboard, which right now is Alex Foxen, he would start with the most chips in the PGT Championship.
Yeah.
Second would have the second most, etc. So
you'd rather
we're going to benefit the player in this regard.
Exactly. Next up, Sam Soverell. Well, he's second on the leaderboard, so he's out. Stephen Chidwick, also in the top 40, he's out. Bin Wang, 1 cash. Unfortunately, he does not qualify. Next person on the list, Jordan Glazer, 4 cashes. Best performing player at NAPT when it came to the PGT qualifying events. For Jordan, we'll touch on him. He did head down to Texas, had some results there. He's about 400 points away from the top 40. Not sure he was going to Bahamas yet. So he's probably, not a favorite, but hey, I already told him, keep the communication lines open. I might have to send you a message. Yeah. He may also come and play PGT Last Chance. He's more of a PLO player, but he may come out here. So there's a chance, he could score some results and potentially get in naturally too. But if Pietrangelo does qualify, he's got 450 points. That seat would roll down to Jordan. And then if both, it can keep going. Obviously, if both of them somehow get in, it's going to go down to Sam Laskowitz, who's just outside the top 40. Giles Samau, he's in. Kristen Foxen in. Kerry Katz sitting in 10th. Not in the top 40 yet, but hey, this is his backup option. So,
what about Cherish? Where's she?
Well, Cherish is on 13th on the leaderboard. So significantly more down on this Dream Seat leaderboard. But yeah, she's outside the top 40 as well. So yeah, this is, although Nick, it's currently with Nick, it may change. We'll just kind of see how the next, 16 events or something play out.
All right. Anything else stand out to you from this series? You can focus on the PGT stuff. I mean, what have you got to say?
So I think the biggest thing is, we had 3 people knock off some PGT milestones. Okay. So we had Stephen Chidwick surpass 10,000 PGT points. He joins Alex Fox in that category. We had Sam Soverell and Jeremy Osmonds pick up their 100th PGT cash. So it's 3 pretty cool milestones. And then we look at the leaderboard. We did have some big movers. Some people solidify, their position. Obviously, Sam Soverell picked up 3 cashes. He's now just looks like 44 points outside Alex Foxen. So that race to be PGT Player of the Year is going to come pretty hot down this home stretch. We had Giles Samau move up in the top 10, Kristen Foxen move up, Chidwick move up. A lot of these guys kind of solidified their position. And then you look just outside that, top 40. We saw Sam Liskowitz now 41st, including all the little rules we have. We have Jeremy Osmonds now sneaking in. So he's right in there, obviously defending PGT Player of the Year, defending PGT Championship winner. So he is currently sitting 38th. So he's going to still do some more work to make sure he solidifies his position. But yeah, some movers in the 40, people just moving just to the outside. So did have a bit of a shakeup.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought the high rolls are pretty good. I think going back to your point about the schedule stuff, some tinkering could be done there. Yeah. And yeah, all in all, I hope this event stays on the schedule. I really like it. I think it's got a decent time slot. I say decent now because as we'll get into some of the later stuff and Tim kind of touched on, could be more challenging going forward. I also do wonder if this letter or whatever from the Nevada Gaming Commission has anything to do with it, because they sent a letter to, I believe, to FanDuel.
Yeah.
About the prediction market stuff, and I want to say they mentioned Flutter in there. So because Flutter owns PokerStars, does that affect this event? Like it's a whole thing. So I guess wait and see on that. I would hate to see this event go. I mean, I want to see the NAPT evolve into a full-on tour, not just one stop. I mean, I think that they should be trying to do 4 big 5K events a year, different properties, culminate with the final one in Las Vegas, and then do a bunch of those PokerStars Open ones, right? Maybe do, let's say 4 to 8 of those smaller events, 1K price point, and they kind of all feed in to those then majors. Like that's how I would kind of try and structure this thing. I don't know how many properties are available to them, how many, partner properties they have. Obviously they went to, I think it was Maryland Live for the PokerStars Open. I think they have a presence in Pennsylvania. They're in Michigan, so can they find someone there to do something with? Like, all that sort of stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Would love for that to happen. And I think, again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Resorts World property is elite.
Yeah,
it just kind of stinks that it seems like no one's ever there when I'm there, which sucks.
It's so quiet.
It's but the entire property is so freaking nice. And like when you go to play poker there for the NAPT, you're in this ballroom, you're away from everything, everything's super updated, state of the art, spacious, luxurious. It's awesome. It really is. Even simple things like coming in off the highway, it's like right there. You don't have to deal with the strip stuff. Like it's just nice and convenient and freaking awesome. So hopefully it just sticks around. Let's head on down to Texas, where we had Stephen Hubbard topping 337 entries to win $215,000 in the 3K buy-in, $1 million guaranteed PGT Texas PLO Roundup main event. Tim loves to make 17 words in every event.
You added the PGT. PGT part is not in the name.
It's a PGT event. Yeah. So PGT goes in the front. Okay, I'm sorry. That's how it is. Hubbard dominated the final table en route to victory. He moves up to 100th on the season-long PGT leaderboard. So I guess within striking distance, but I'll also say not really because he's really only a PLO player. Yeah. So, unless he's going to the Bahamas to fire some of that PLO stuff down there, I would doubt that we see him get into the championship. But hey, you never know.
Never know.
Fun little run for Hubbard. He bagged the day one B chip lead. Then he won the first high roller. Then he went back and ran on to victory in the WSP main event. In that
Texas PLO Roundup main event.
The PGT. What did I say?
WSOP main event.
I don't think I said that.
Rich, check the tape. I swear you did. Anyway.
Whatever. No, I honestly don't think I said that. Maybe I did. It might have sounded like that, but I don't think I said it, actually.
Maybe you said Texas main event.
I don't remember what I said. That might. So anyway, he won $36K for the high roller win. He won $215K. For the main event win. Now, the event barely hit the guarantee. $1 million guarantee, $1,011,000 in the prize pool. That was a sweat. I want to know, what the heck was it like? Because you were on property. You were down in, not Austin, Houston, for this event at Champions Club. What was the sweat like? Every day you're getting up, you're seeing the numbers, you're like, are we going to make it? You're obviously talking to the people at Champions Club. Like, well, what's that sweat like?
I knew there was going to be a downturn. I'll revisit the reasons, but we were on track. The first flight, day 1A, we were okay. Day 1B, we were on track. When the turbo that night didn't run, we were a little worried. And then from there, we just knew it was going to be close. We were just, is this going to make it? Is this going to... And we were just trying to hit certain, benchmarks along the way to this $1 million guarantee. We wanted to hit... Obviously, keep it to six figures, keep it to a soft guarantee, when you include the rate. And it was definitely a sweat. We obviously made it in the last break of the hyper turbo level when a couple of people bust and jump back in. And then, look, we did make it. It was pretty nerve-wracking. We're probably going to make a few changes to this event and even the no limit version. But we ran really bad. And when I say that, when you're running these multi-flight where you can put in a lot of bullets, no offense, but we're cheering for the people with the deeper pockets.
No offense, but we want you guys to bust out and re-enter.
Look, I've told them,
is what Tim is saying.
I've said them to their face. I said, I want you in for 20 bullets, but I want you to cash for 22. I want you to profit. I just want you to put in a lot of bullets. And look, day 1A, every player that bagged day 1A, and you can ask anyone at Champions, were good for many, many more bullets. Many, many more bullets, So we ran very bad in that aspect, but it's okay. At the end of the day, we made it. We'll make some tweaks going forward. But
definitely missing a bunch of PGT regulars that have traveled there in the past.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Jeremy Osmus went to the PLO one last time, but did Chino Ream go to the PLO one last time? Ren Lin didn't.
Ren Lin wasn't there, no.
Josh Aria, Sean Deeb, bunch of PLO guys / PGT players, that you might expect there. They didn't make the trip this time.
So
is a bummer.
When it comes to our players, there's a couple of reasons. First one, they've done Houston a few times. They didn't want to go back. They were planning to go to Seminole, so this was a good week off before doing Seminole, Bahamas, all those events. I understand that. We also had a lot of new faces go. Bryce Yockey, Chris Costa, a couple of other guys get down to there for the first time, and I played a lot of cash with Chris and Bryce. And They loved it down there. So, it is a great spot. Also, we lost a couple of our regulars that we were counting on being there. They went to the APT event. And when I say regulars, I mean 3 or 4 local Houston players.
Okay.
Right? That are PLO, that they only play PLO, decided to do a little holiday in November. So we lost those. But the biggest problem was, and I think we're going to touch on this, we did see a big decrease. We went from 1.4 million last year to just hitting the guarantee. And it's a big issue in Texas right now.
I am shocked at how many rooms there are in Texas. Like,
there's so many.
If you were to ask me, obviously before I look deeper into it, I probably would have said, I don't know, 6.
Yeah.
There might be 60. I mean, it's outrageous.
Houston is probably the most saturated with poker rooms. Couple of big ones and then a lot of little small ones. The problem with one of them, and I'm going to call them out, TCH, is, what, TCH, I've played at TCH in Austin, one of the most beautiful poker rooms I've ever played in. That's coming from someone that's played at the Wynn and Aria and Venetian, all these places here in Vegas. It's beautiful. The TCH that I'm talking to about in Houston, they all kind of like different ownerships. Like, it's not like, 100% the same. And they are kind of, they set their dates for a main event. They had a $1,200, $500,000 guarantee on, this week in November. We scheduled our event to offset that. Okay. Then they moved their event over the top of ours to basically try and take us out. What that meant was you lose a lot of the fringe no limit hold'em guys that would have played a bullet or two in the PLO. They're going to just stick to the no limit. People that, you would expect, a good Ray Henson, champions. He plays a lot of champions, plays a lot of cash there, loves PLO, big supporter of the PGT. He decided to put one bullet in the TCH event, and then he was going to play champions the rest of the week. Well, guess what? He bagged that bullet, so he couldn't play any of the fights of champions. Gabriel Andrade comes here, plays the PGT PLO series, big PLO player. He decided to do the same thing, put a couple bullets in the no limit hold'em event, so you try and get lucky. I heard he put 14 bullets. And once you start getting a few bullets deep, you start chasing those bullets.
Yeah, of course.
He actually didn't bag. He played the Hyper Turbo, survived the Hyper Turbo, ended up cashing in our event anyway. But, losing a lot of players there really hurts. Now, talk about our satellites. Our satellite program was great last year. This year, nearly non-existent. Main reason was the people that play the satellites have all been lured to some of these other places because of all these new promotions they're running to basically acquire, all these customers. And, look, we missed one guarantee this series, really small one. Otherwise, we made everything. TCH was trying to kind of break Champions Club, missed nearly every single day guarantee that they ran. They missed the main event guarantee by $50,000. So it's a really expensive customer acquisition process for them. And look, I think we can all be friends in Texas.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of my point, is that I've started to get the sense, and this is just my own personal opinion, that the Texas market is really just going to eat itself alive.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how as many rooms that are down there can survive like this, especially if they're going at each other's throats all the time. Like, I mean, I know Texas is a huge state. I know poker is widely popular there. I don't know how you can do it. Now you obviously had the WPT went down there, right? They had a prime event. WSB Circuit is going there. So like, it's only going to get more saturated. So I just don't know how much these rooms can survive. And then ultimately, if the rooms don't survive, the ones that are going to suffer are the players.
Yeah. They can survive. And, you say like they're in wars together, but it's not, it's a very one-sided war, because just like here, when Aria, Venetian, when the summer schedule is set by WSB, that we all kind of talk and figure out where we want to do our marquee events, and we put stuff around it. We work with each other to create so we can all benefit. Now, in this case, most of the Texas rooms do that. Champions have a relationship with, the Lodge up in Austin and some other rooms, and they, make sure they don't overlap, don't schedule on top of each other. But it's just this one room that's kind of out for war. It doesn't seem like they're going to stop. Maybe 2 months ago, Champions overlaid $300K in their $1 million, summer event or whatever it was called. Those dates were out, and TCH moved an event to be over the top of it. The same buy-in, same guarantee, and they missed the guarantee. That doesn't do anything for players. If you're a TCH loyalist, you'll play there. If you're a Champions loyalist, you'll play at Champions. But if you just go different weekends, you both can benefit. I just don't understand why they're trying to do this, but it is what it is, and we just have to deal with it when, we're creating our partner events there next year. We have to take into account that, hey, this could be an issue. Obviously we haven't missed the guarantee of Champions yet, 4 from 4. How do we keep doing that? What adjustments do we need to make to ensure, we will be successful?
Moving on to the 3 5K high rollers that took place. We already mentioned Stephen Hubbard won event number 1, or won high roller number 1 for $36K. Brevin Andriadis won number 2 for $38,500. And then Bryce Yockey won number 3 for $45,000. Quick break here as I tell you guys about PokerGo's biggest sale of the year, our biggest sale ever, as far as I'm concerned. For Black Friday and Cyber Week, you can get a PokerGo VIP subscription for 50% off. So the normal price is $299.99. Now it's $149.99. Or you can get an annual subscription to PokerGo for 30% off. Originally $99.99, now $69.99. And each of those offers comes with bonus credit to the PokerGo shop. The regular sale window for this whole thing ends December 5th at midnight. But you know what? I'm in charge of the marketing. So for the podcast listeners, we'll keep it open for an extra week.
Ooh.
Okay, so how's that sound? An extra week here for the podcast listeners. We won't give out these specific promo codes publicly. They will only be for podcast listeners. So this offer will run through December 12th at midnight. Again, you can get 50% off a PokerGo VIP subscription plus a $30 gift card to the PokerGo shop when you join or upgrade using the promo code POD25VIP. Or if you use the promo code POD25annual, you'll get 30% off your first year of annual plus a $20 gift card to the PokerGo shop. Both offers apply to the first year of those subscriptions only. Head to PokerGo.com and lock in one of these deals before it ends. Again, though, we are adding an extra week. December 12th at midnight is when those deals will end. I don't know if those will ever be back because those are the biggest deals we've ever freaking offered. So that's that. I know I said at the top of the show that we were going to talk about these big events. We're not going to talk about those big events. I just got a message that we have to get out of here because they got to do testing and stuff. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I do want to hit on a family pot that I teased with you personally. Yep. So let's do that. We'll talk about this other stuff, the APT. I knew I was going to do that. The APT Championship, BSOP Millions. And then we'll also have WPT Rock and Roll Poker Open. We'll have wrapped up. So we can do all those together. I also think, we both know Fred Lung, the CEO of the APT.
I messaged him this week.
Yeah, we should try and get him on the show. Talk about it. That event was bananas.
It was.
It was so bananas that Tim and I were like, should we go next year?
No, we're going next
exactly.
year. We are going.
Exactly. So I also talked to a bunch of players. I got some kind of firsthand insights into that series over there. So we'll hit on all of that. But I want to get into this family pot because whatever. Okay. It's our show and we can do whatever we want.
I got 2 little ones. So.
Go ahead. You go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we play the music?
It's time for a family pot. A family pot. Who doesn't love a family pot? Flop, turn, and river, all in or not.
All right, what do you got for
I'm
me?
going to send this video to Rich to put insert. So I bought a treadmill a few weeks ago, part of Black Friday sales. Got early.
Why? You can run outside.
I hate running outside. I'm an inside guy.
See, I hate running on treadmills.
I've set up my finance pod and get in the zone.
You can take the pod.
No. I like to watch because then I get distracted and I can get through like 13 miles real easy. Came in a big box, right? It's a big treadmill. Came in a big box. My son, who is 9 and he's not autistic, likes boxes and likes forts. He's like a cat. So we kept this box that is 7 feet long in the living room. He put all his stuffed animals. He put all the blankets in the house and he made it a fort. The video I just sent Rich, he wanted to sleep in the fort downstairs a couple different nights. So he slept in there and I took a video. So I sent that. Other one, I think a couple Christmas ago, we put a little Rubik's Cube in his like stocking, obviously you have to be pretty damn smart to be able to solve a Rubik's Cube. And it's just been sitting there. He brought it to me 2 days ago, fully solved. And I go, did you do this? He goes, yeah. And I thought maybe he peeled the stickers off. That would make sense. And he goes, I did it. I go, I'm looking at him and he's like got a straight face. I'm like, you cheated. How did you do this? And he goes, what are you talking about? I go, and I'm just looking at him in the eyes and he goes, oh, I used a Rubik's Cube solver. I'm like, okay. And then he ran away and I was like, should I be proud of him for that or should I be worried? And then he brought it back. I mean,
it's problem solving in a way.
I rejumbled it. And then the next day he's like, I solved it again. I'm just like, I'm not sure if I should be proud that he found a way to cheat or that
whatever.
he cheated. I don't know. But it's like, I was impressed that he somehow found this and then you still probably got to follow steps, kind of like doing Lego to solve it. But that's, amazing.
Okay. I mean, it's like math, Now we just type stuff in a calculator and we just move on with our lives.
Yeah.
We don't really, we use the math, but, Did you have a second one?
No, that were those two different ones, yeah.
Got it. So mine, I teased this with you and Rich.
Okay.
And it's been, I think it's been 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now.
Some of that, yeah.
So my wife is a huge reality TV show person. She loves Bravo. She loves The Real Housewives, all this sort of stuff. BravoCon is their huge conference. Takes place here in Vegas. She went, I think last year or 2 years. I think last year. She wanted to go this year. Okay. I think she told me about it, back when the tickets were announced or whatever, several months ago. Tickets ended up snap selling out, whatever. We go out to her birthday dinner, her and I. She tells me that like BravoCon's coming up in, whatever, 1 or 2 weekends. We're going to have to pay for the tickets, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Cool. At no point had it been told to me what these tickets cost. I'm basically going off of what they cost the last time, which I thought was ridiculous, which I think was around $300 to $400. But it's like you get 3 days. It's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. This is what she wants to do. It's fine. She can go do it. $300 is not going to kill me. So like a week or so before the event, she's like, hey, don't forget we have to pay for the BravoCon tickets. We have to send so-and-so the money. I'm like, okay, how much are they? She goes, $25.
Dollars?
I go 20. I go 25 what? It's $2,500. It's $2,500? What in God's name are you doing at BravoCon? She's like, we had to get VIP. I'm like, what do you had to get VIP? What are you talking about? So she drops this on me a week beforehand. Now, she then tells me that she told me the price. And it's this whole thing. And I'm like, there's no effing way that you told me the price, because I would have screamed at you. Not like at you, but like just screamed in general about how absurd it is that you want to spend money for $2,500. I was like, do you know how much money that is? That's more than our mortgage payment for you to go hang out with these Bravo celebrities. Like, come on, this is ridiculous. You can't do this. Then, so she's trying to tell me that she told me the price the whole time. I'm like, there's no way you told me the price, because if anyone knows me, I would have freaked out about the price. I would have told you no, like if you want to go, whatever, for the cheaper version, the regular version, like that's totally fine. She's trying to tell me that she's like, you have to go VIP. I'm like, you didn't go VIP last time. You had a freaking ball. Like, I don't understand what the hell's going on. Then she tells me that her friend that purchased the tickets, she's like, well, she never told me the price. And I was like, okay, so hold on. So your friend bought tickets and she didn't tell you the price. Therefore, your story does not count, because you could not have told me the price if your friend never told you the price. Okay?
Got a
Second thing. Then she also says that, well, so-and-so bought the tickets and like I kept asking her for the price, but she couldn't give it to me because she didn't know. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean she didn't know? She just bought like 5 tickets on her credit card for $2,500 each and didn't know how much they cost? Is this person a billionaire? Like what is happening? And then she's trying to tell me that, well, we can just tell the person we can't go. I'm like, you committed to this. It's a week ago. Like you're screwing that person out of $2,500.
Yep.
Who is also quite ridiculous that she doesn't know how much she bought for these tickets. So it's this whole thing for like a week. I'm like, I cannot believe you spent $2,500 on a goddamn ticket to BravoCon. Now, she had the freaking time of her life and great. And listen, and also at the birthday dinner, I bought her tickets to, she wanted to go see Brandy and Monica, who came out here at Allegiant Stadium. I bought her tickets to that. So she was like, I thought it was weird when you gave me those tickets knowing that I was going to BravoCon and they cost that much money. I was like, so you didn't say anything? Like, you didn't tell me? And it's not so much that I was, first of all, yes, I was pissed off at the price. I think it's fucking absurd to spend $2,500 on that sort of thing. Now, if you would have told me like in April, I could have like, done the thing, like I'll put $200 away, like whatever, like it's not that big of a deal. Like $2,500.
It's a lot of money.
To go to BravoCon. And then on top of it, it's even more than $2,500 because you buy some things there, you get some souvenirs. We got to get a babysitter on one or two of the days. Like it's a whole thing. I'm just like, this is absurd. I'm like, do you realize you going to BravoCon costs more than our family trip to Disneyland? I was losing my mind for, I don't know, a week and a half straight. Like I was so tilted and I had to play NAPT and I was like, stop talking to me about this. I can't handle it. I want to focus on poker. Like this is absurd that you're even spending this money. Don't try and justify it with me. You're like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So yeah. Anyway, $2,500 for fucking BravoCon is I said, that's why all those people on those shows are rich because they're charging $2,500 for people like you to go to this fucking show. That is out of control. $2,500? Like what were you doing? Like honestly, what were you doing? Anyway, it's bringing back my negativity and this bad energy, and I want to get rid of this.
It's gone.
But it is what it is.
Did she have fun?
Of course, she had a freaking blast, and I love that she had a blast. And I want her to go to these things, but you can't drop $2,500 on me with 6 days' notice. Like that, we're not in that sort of financially stable position that I can just be like, yeah, go ahead. Here's $2,500.
Yeah.
And of course she tries to throw well, you go play these poker tournaments and blah, blah. I'm like, okay, first of all, the poker bankroll is always separate. It's always separate than everything else we have to pay for. And it's planned. I give you well in advance, that this is what I'm doing and whatever. And again, it's not that I don't want her to do these things. I definitely want her to do these things, but you cannot drop $2,500 in my lap with 6 days notice. It's just absolutely absurd. All right. That's going to do it for us on this show. We're basically getting kicked out of our own studio.
Unbelievable.
It really is unbelievable. We have the PGT True Classic Rags to Riches right here. This trophy, all that sort of stuff.
Beautiful
coming
trophy.
Up
Well done.
December 2nd through 5th here at the studio, streaming all 4 days. That's the one we were telling you guys about for so long that 15 winners are going to come out here and play at the studio. So be sure to tune in for that. I'm going to be on commentary for some of the days alongside Remco. I believe it's Brent Hanks and Jeff Platt for the final table commentary. So we have all that coming up. On the next show, we'll either be sometime during that event, maybe after the event, but we'll hit on this event. We'll hit on all the other events that we want to talk about. And, we'll give our takes on the poker drama stuff. Okay. Yeah. So quick and easy. Again, they're kicking us out of our own studio, but we got to live with it. So for Tim Duckworth, my name is Donnie Peters, and we will talk to you guys next time.
See ya.